Hey folks, I ended a little early last night because no one was in the PU and felt the itch for a little racing this afternoon. Don't have a lot of time, but thought I'd check it out, see if maybe a few more folks were online. I will not be racing the Argo. I'm going to race the M50. So let's give it a shot. Europe seems to have a lot of the racers, so I'm hoping that being a European evening that I'll have a better chance. Just gonna do a couple races, maybe 2 or 3, assuming people are online. Let's see if I can't get into a match that's not deferred. I suppose a lot of folks' energy for Star Citizen this week is probably going into Gamescom. I know a lot of my energy is, but you gotta make time for racing. Deferred again. Just can't escape it. Well, that's just disappointing. Well, I'm not gonna do nothing. So I guess I will. I'll go ahead and fly OV in single player, and I'll talk about the way that I fly the track. Give me a quick sec. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are on OV. from the start. Just gonna accelerate as quickly as I can toward this ring. I want to be close to top speed, hitting it. And I brake hard. Oh, later than that. Darn it. Might need a practice lap here. Let me do a lap just to kind of dust myself off, and I'll start in with the commentary. It's also true that the last time I flew, oh geez, that wasn't even how much. Yeah, the last time I flew, oh geez, was in the Argo, and before that, I was in the Aurora, and apparently that has really messed with me. I'm gonna need yet another lap here to figure it out. So once I've actually figured out what the hell I'm doing, remembering that I'm racing an M50 instead of a brick on ice, then I'll try to actually talk about how I try to fly OB. Oh jeez, this is slippery as all get out. You could not find two more different ships than the M50 and the Argo. Alright, getting a little bit closer to normal here. So better racers than I might manage to be a bit more consistent, but I'm going to talk about ranges rather than precise speeds or maneuvers. Oh, come on. So if I don't speak very precisely, it's because I don't fly all that precisely either. So I'm going to be a tad under top speed on that corner. I'm going to slow down heavy right here. Oh, too soon. It is better to slow down too soon than too late. Too soon, you're a little slow. Too late, you pass out. You crash. Man. Maybe this will be a video of what not to do. Alright. Take it easy. Go. Okay, hopefully after this lap I'll be ready for prime time. Okay, we're getting close. So starting into this next lap, I'm going full bore. I slow down a little bit before the ring and try to thread that needle. Then I slow down almost to a stop there. I went a little too slow. Try to get up to about 450 in that ring and up to 600 for this ring. Shoot down in full speed right ahead. This is one of the straightaways. I can get some time on. Slow down as much as I could at that ring. Try to get up to about 500 meters per second there. Decelerate a little and accelerate back to 450 to 500 during that ring. And if I reorient my position quickly enough, I won't red out like I just did. Okay, so again, close to full speed, slow down a little bit here. Okay, big slow down here. Try to whip around that corner real quick though. Get up to 450, whip around, get back up to 600. I slow down a little bit before every ring though. Slow down as much as I can here so I can take a quick turn. I don't want to do that full loop. Otherwise I'm just wasting time. Get up to 450 to 500 there and then full speed. This is sort of not exactly straight away, but it's another spot where I can fly full bore without passing out. Again, slow down, whip around, not that much. 450, 600. Just calling out the times that I'm trying to go through each ring. 300. And these are times that you just kind of figure out over time through trial and error. I think the best way to learn any track, to have some consistency and develop good muscle memory, you really want to practice the right way. You don't want to go full speed, because what you're going to do is you're going to make a lot of mistakes, because no one's ready to just go full speed right at first. And you're going to be training those mistakes into your muscle memory. Muscle memory is not a gimmick, it's a real thing. It's actually not muscle memory though, it's your corpus callosum is making connections, and almost passed out there. Okay. So again, 300. As you can see, like I was a little closer to 4. Now I'm not saying this inconsistency is good. It's bad. The more consistent you can be, the better. But the way I have my setup, I just can't be absolutely precise. I'm using a mouse wheel in order to throttle, so it's linear. And unlike with dual joysticks, I can't, or a HOTAS, I can't just put my throttle in the exact position I need it and let my thrusters catch up. I have to wheel up and down, and obviously I kind of figure out how much over time to wheel up and down, but it's imprecise. So a little bit less than full speed here, around 600 normally is what I'd shoot for. I went a little slow. Again, 450 here when I can. And all these numbers are negotiable, with the primary negotiation being how are my G's? Because the last thing you want to do, especially on OV, is pass out. So I tend to accelerate pretty much as quickly as I think I can get away with. If I don't think I can get away with it, then I don't do it. Oh, too soon. Now I haven't been doing this very long, but I did recently map to a couple buttons on my mouse, full stop and a max throttle. I didn't previously use that, I just used the wheel for throttle. And I find that's helpful to just increase or decrease rather the input to response time. Oh jeez, come on. I can just push those buttons when I know I want to go full speed. I only do it during a couple of turns. I do it right here to slow down. And I do it right here, speed up for the straightaway. As I mentioned earlier, there's one more straightaway that starts right here, but you don't, in my opinion, at least not following my path. Oh, pass out. Perhaps for reason of what just happened, you don't want to automatically go up to full throttle there because you're pulling enough G's. Sometimes you need to scale back. These turns though, I go into straight. It's pretty safe. So up here when I throttle to max, I've got my orientation and I'm going in a straight line, so I'm not really going to pick up additional G's. So it was actually the turn afterwards when I was using the mouse wheel again that I had too much. Okay. A couple more laps. I'm finding that maybe OV is not actually the best track. to try to explain this on, or not the easiest, because it's hard to actually talk quickly enough to describe everything I'm doing. Let's slow down a little here. Try to thread that needle. That was way too tight. Slow down to almost 0 to make a really quick cut. I had to lay off the throttle a little bit there because of the G's. Got to make sure that I get myself oriented correctly when I do max throttle, or else that happens. Okay, and right about as I hit the top of that, I don't know what to call that, little spire there, that's where I slow down going into the loop. Oh geez, oh geez. Alright, one more. I better sign off. Okay, slow down a little bit. Full stop. Whip around. 600. Full speed. Brake right here, hard. Try to get up to 500 or so. Whip up as quick as I can, roll over, transfer the G's, and then gun it back down as quickly as I can. Okay, so that's how I fly OV. Looks like I managed 33 from my best. That's close to my top. I don't think I've broken 32 before. But that's how I fly OV. If you see the leaderboards, I'm definitely nowhere near the best. So there are more effective ways to fly it. I would say this is probably a pretty good example of a method for flying OV if you like to yaw. And for the uninitiated, that's when you make your turn side to side, like I do. Like this, mostly side to side. Better racers than me, I'm not saying this is their line, but they're going to fly the rings turning up and down. And again, probably much more efficiently, maybe in a different series than I just did, and without blowing up. But yeah, that is one of the things that makes my flying style a little unique. I still use yaw. The reason that, to my knowledge, almost all the top racers use pitch instead of yaw like I do, is because you don't have as much control over your G's. If you yaw up, and you get certain G-force, and you yaw down, you can basically, if you think of the G-forces as a slider, you can basically erase the G's. So by rolling and turning this way, you can transfer the G-forces and prevent passing out. Also, the game gives you visual feedback that if you're going down, you red out, you're going up, you start to gray out, and that gives racers who use pitch pretty good feedback on where the G-forces are at. You don't get that so much with yaw. I find that the screen does start to blur slightly, but it's neither black nor red, and there's really no way to tell what that limit is. You have to learn it over time. So why do I fly yaw? I fly yaw because it's fun. That's my rule with this game. So, fun little note, I just discovered that my microphone is off. I have no idea how long it's been off. I don't know if I hit it a ways back and turned it off. I don't know if I never had it on, which is both funny and tragic. I'm gonna go ahead, just for the benefit of at least sharing what I tried to share today, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat myself very briefly. So I'll run a lap for practice, and then I will start over. And what I'm trying to do is explain how I fly OV. And then I want to explain very briefly about G-forces, why I fly the way I do, and frankly why most people at the top of the leaderboards do not fly the way I do. Okay, so I tried to go full speed through here. I slowed down a little at this ring. Full stop into here so I can whip around quickly. Accumulated a bit too many G's, so I'm going to accelerate slowly out of that. Try to hit 450 for that ring. Slow down a bit and go back up to about 600. Slow down a bit and go full speed into here. Slow down starting at that spire so I can whip up. Get up to about 500 meters per second. Whip up there. Switch my G-forces over. Don't miss that ring. Maybe I'll try one more lap after this so I can get the full effect without crashing. Okay, again, full speed, slightly down here, full stop, whip around when I hit about 200 meters per second. It's safe to yaw 90 degrees. 600 there, slow down a bit and then reorient it and go full speed. Slow down to about 200. I broke too late. Get up to about 500. Transfer those G's and whip down, and as fast as I can back through. Okay, so the other thing I was talking about before I realized my mic wasn't even on, I promise you I said all kinds of amazing, wonderful, insightful things, but what I wanted to talk about is how I do fly differently than most top pilots, especially although many that are much better than I am. I fly on yaw, that's side to side. So I make my turns like this. And I'm not going to be following their lines, but many of the other racers fly on pitch. Like that. Of course, I'm not doing it very well because that's just not how I fly. And the reason that most pilots are flying on pitch or at the top of their leaderboards is because you can control G's. Worst thing you can do in the race is black out. If you go up too quick, you gray out. If you go down too quick, you red out. Now there's a nice visual cue for that. Oh, thanks, Chile. That is really good to know. Okay, so I am repeating myself. I'm so grateful to hear that. Okay, well, hopefully just in case someone tuned in a little late, they're getting a refresher. Anyway, pitch flying really does give you a lot of great control over your G-forces, gives you great visual cues when you're starting to get too high and you're risking pass out, and so it really helps you go breakneck speeds. I fly yaw because it's fun. It's how I originally learned how to fly in Star Citizen. Frankly, I'm a little bit lazy. I love to race, but I hate to practice. I've maybe, besides with this stream, since I started it this week, I've logged maybe a total of an hour or two in practice. I'm always doing the multiplayer matches. Pretty much, I just like to fly. I spent maybe 10 minutes in practice when I realized that I really needed to move to pitch flying versus yaw flying, and started practicing the way I should be flying this course. Actually, I only wanted to practice it on OV, and it wasn't fun, and I stopped. Someday I might decide, hey, it's going to be fun to learn this, and I'll learn it, and I'll be faster again. Who knows? But for now, I'm just kind of stubbornly clutching the yaw method, and hoping that I can stay relatively competitive. That's honestly probably the push. If I start to slip below 25 spots on the leaderboard across the board, even on fuel management free tracks like OV, Rickard, I'll probably put in the effort. But for now, I still feel fast. I'm still having a lot of fun, and so I'm just not too motivated to change. All right, I hope this has been fairly enjoyable. Like I said, I just wanted to pop in and get a few multiplayer matches in because things were dead last night. Unfortunately, when I tried it earlier, at least, multiplayer was dead again this afternoon. So I hopped into OV. Thought I'd show you guys how I do the track. I will, of course, do this again for Rickard and for Defford as well. So hope you enjoyed the stream. Be sure to check us out at erasersperspective.com. There you can find information on all things Eraser's Perspective, including links to our YouTube channel, this Twitch channel, although you already know where we are here. Links to past issues of the magazine. There's only one previous issue from February 2017 at the moment, but we'll have a new one coming out real soon, just a few weeks from now in September 2017. I mean for the first half of the month, not the second half. And I promise you my projections are significantly better than CIG's. We are making a change, though, to this month's issue, pending something truly extraordinary at the Gamescom presentation this Friday. I anticipate that we won't have any 3.0 coverage in our September issue, but worry not. Whenever 3.0 comes out, whether it's during a publishing month or not, we will publish a special issue just to cover 3.0 land racing, Nox, the Razor, etc. Get all that stuff in. So yeah, check out our Discord, check out our Twitch, check out our YouTube, check out our website, where you can find info and all that stuff. Keep up on our news and tune in here weeknights at 2200 PST and times like this where I just decide to hop on and enjoy some good racing. Take care, everybody.